What's up, guys? I have another Mexico travel vlog for you. This video is our stay from the beautiful Barcelo Riviera Maya in Mexico. Now, if you caught my last vlog, you will know that we switched to this resort in the middle of a stay. We were previously at the Grand Serenas, and just check out that vlog and see why we had to leave that hotel. This is not impressing us very much at all. Let's just hope the next few days go good. We had the opportunity to move, even though we only have like 3 days left here. Already just checking in, the vibe of this resort is so much better. Oh my gosh, I'm kicking myself for not coming here sooner. So yes, we did switch over to the Barcelo and we loved every minute of it. So if you're interested in this Mexico all-inclusive resort, stay tuned. I go over everything from the grounds, the pools, the beaches, the food, just everything you would need to know about staying here. Also, if you're curious on the price of what we paid, that will be shared at the end also. So when you go to look up the Barcelo Riviera Maya, you will notice a lot of hotels in one. Each hotel is a part of this massive resort, and we stayed at the Tropical. Going left to right, they have the adults only, then they go to these 4 hotels, and you can access all of these 4 no matter which one you stay at. You can go to the restaurants, you can go over to the pools, anything you want. Now the one on the end, the Palace, that is one you will not be able to go to unless you stay at the Palace. I think it's a little bit more of a premium level. The rooms are a little nicer. However, we were just content with what we had on the other 4 resorts, so we did not feel the need to upgrade to the Palace. I mean, I can feel the wind walking through here. I love the tropical resort vibe, the feel. This pool, I'll show you in a little bit, is right next to the ocean. If you caught my Iberostar vlog, you will notice that I talked about everything being covered. I love that about Mexico hotels that have that, because it rains quite often and you can still get around, walk around even if it rains, as I will show in just a second. We did have one day where it was pouring, and this was so nice to have. Everything is just so beautiful here though. I loved walking around this resort. So another thing with this resort is all the stuff they have here to do. If it does rain, you're not going to be totally bored, because they have some shopping right at this resort where we stayed at, or you can take the little bus and go over to the mall area. But we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Let's jump to the most important part, the beach. Our favorite. Now, I loved this beach. It was long, spread out, plenty of shade with the trees, lots of seating, and it was right beside the pool. If I wanted to go to the beach, I could go. My kids could be hanging out at the pool. I could just turn around and look at them. Now, the seaweed problem has been going on for a couple of months in Mexico. It's very hit or miss. There's nothing you can really do about it. You can't blame the resort because it's Mother Nature, but we had several days here at the Barcelo that were fabulous. Not much seaweed at all, or sargassum, as I think what they technically call it in Mexico. I believe summertime is seaweed season anyway, so just prepare for that when you do travel in the summer months. However, when we travel, mostly we like to go September, October, or January, February. We have never experienced much seaweed. So there was a little bit this time, but the beach, as you can see, it's still beautiful. You can still get in from time to time. The workers at the Barcelo were doing a fabulous job trying to keep the seaweed under control. They were out there all day long. I felt so bad for them, but they were so nice. You'd walk past them, they'd smile and say hola, and there were lots of people that would go and just give these guys a couple dollars. We did. I recommend you do that too, because I'm sure most know that they don't make very much here in Mexico, and they are working so hard. They are happy to be back to work and happy to have us back touring their beautiful place. So I just think it's, you know, something nice you can do. And they have a beautiful pier you can walk off, jump off and snorkel and to get away from the seaweed around the beach if you want. That was cool. Oh shit. He almost lost his sunglasses. Wow. Go. Now let's talk about these pools. Just like my Barrowstar vlog, I raved on the pools of how big they are, so you don't feel like you're standing on top of people if it does get a little crowded. But one thing I love about this resort versus Iberostar is it's right next to the beach. You can see the beach from the pool. You get that ocean breeze. There's tons of seating here, you guys. And it's just gorgeous. I love the grounds of this resort. I think I'm going to say that 18 times in this video, but we loved it. You will not get bored with the pools. And if you're bored at this section, which I don't see how you could get bored, you can hop over to the beach in the Carib section. This is at the tropical and the colonial side. They have bigger pools over here, but the other side has really nice pools as well. They also have a little kids water park, and they have a basketball area, and they did have some ropes to where they turned this one rectangle pool into a lap pool in the morning. They do yoga, they do fun games beside the bars. That's another thing too. They have 2 very large swim up bars on each side of these pools with lots of bartenders, so you're not waiting forever for a drink, which I think is amazing. Some resorts, they've only had 1 swim up bar. So in this one particular section right here, they have 2. Now, in case you forget something like sunscreen or floaties, or you have a rip in your bathing suit, or you need new shoes, anything, they do have a shop right next to the pool that you can just go up and get stuff. Just keep in mind, it is very expensive to shop there. Also, if you walk more towards the beach resort, towards the front of the hotel, they have this fun wave rider that you can pay additional cost to do. I believe it was $20-$30 for a certain amount of time. And then they also have a dolphin show, dolphin presentation on site right next to the colonial side, I believe. My little one has been begging to swim with dolphins for as long as I can remember. Look how teeny tiny she is, and she was able to get out there and partake. It wasn't super crazy expensive like I've seen some resorts charge. I believe we paid just about $80-$90 for her to do this, and it lasted about 45 minutes. The Barcelo also has a new park opened, Ventura Fly and Ride. They have ATVs, zip lines, go-karts. Now this was closed when we were there, but I do think that this will be opened up by the end of the year because the COVID restrictions are looking like they are slowly lifting.
Are y'all setting up high? I guess might as well.
And yet another cool thing about this resort is they have this like double-decker bus that you can ride and bounce around to the different resorts if you don't want to walk. Again, each property has something fun. This takes you all the way down to the palace. Then they have another bus that you can jump on that takes you the opposite way towards the mall area. You can take this bus to go for your COVID test, which I'll talk about in just a little bit, but it's so neat. We sat on the top and you really get a feel for the entire resort. So I'm going to kind of take you on this little mini tour and show you the grounds. It also shows you that Ventura Fly Park. You can see a little bit of the zip lines up near the top. I really hope that comes open later in the year. Now, if you would ask me, would I go back here with my kids or would I go back to Iberostar, since I always mention that place too? I would pick this place, the Barcelo, because they have so much for the kids to do. Yes, it's a massive resort, but you will never get bored. Your kids will never get bored, and there's just always something going on. Now, here is going over towards the mall side. They have the casino for the adults. They do have a nightclub. It was closed at this point in time. They have a Strikers bar that's got a bowling alley and an arcade. They have mini golf. They have fun shops you can walk around in. I mean, they have it all, you guys. Now we're making our way over to the beach and the Carib side, if that's how you say it. really short, quick view, but that is the pool over at that section. As you can see, it's a little bit smaller. And then we're going to go down towards where the dolphin area is, that you can pay to swim with dolphins or just catch the show, over to the famous Riviera Maya sign. Always a fun place to take pictures. I really wish we would have found this bus sooner. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had to walk so far during the day to find some of these spots at the other resorts. So definitely jump on this bus. It's right outside, no matter which property you stay at. It goes to all of them. This is when we were heading over to the Strikers Bar at night, and I will show you the arcade and all the fun stuff they have to do there. Now, all this is additional cost. It's really not that expensive. They had a price list at the front. I forgot to get a shot of it, but just know it's going to be extra cost. So we just got our COVID test results, and we are
negative.
Was the COVID test that bad?
Like they went that far.
Hattie said she was trying.
My nose was running.
She was scared that she would test positive. So she said she was fake crying. We all know she was really crying because she was scared. So they didn't go very far.
Hey, give Mom the video.
The COVID test actually wasn't as bad as I thought.
It wasn't even bad.
Like, I was expecting it to be like they say, where it goes up to your brain, but it really was not that bad. Would I want to do it again? Hell no. But I guess it's worth coming to Mexico. That's the only time I would want to get COVID tested. Dad's? Yeah, Dad was a weenie. Really quick before we get to the COVID testing, I wanted to show you they also have an enormous theater that they put on shows every night. We just did not catch any shows because our dinner reservations were at 9 o'clock. So they do have shows. Just keep in mind, if you do have a late reservation, you may not make the shows. But if we come back, I definitely want to catch them because I've heard they are amazing here. Now I'm going to show you that bus one more time. So to go COVID test at the Barcelo, you're going to hop on this bus. Unless you're already staying at the Palace, which is the very far end one, they're going to take you to the Palace property, and that is where you will test. So here's a quick view of the Palace lobby. You will go downstairs, and that's where you will test. It took them about 10 hours to email us our results. They immediately told my daughter she was negative. So I didn't hear that, but you still have to wait for the email to show the airport, and that's it. Then you just go back to your normal routine.
Look, Ted's doing just fine. Look, Ted just did it. She's easy.
Are you do it twice?
So after we got done testing, we walked out to the lobby and just looked at the view from the Palace. As you can see all the way over to the adults only resort. And I was looking around at this place and was like, should we have upgraded? Should we have paid a little bit more to stay at the Palace versus the Tropical or the Colonial, the Beach, or the Caribe property? And it was beautiful, but I was so happy with just our property, and we didn't pay near as much for it. So moving on to the food here. There are two places you can go for buffets. One is near the lobby in this little section right here. They had tons of food to choose from. I'm not a fan of typically buffets in Mexico. I like the a la carte restaurants, but if we would have had to settle for the buffet several nights versus going to a restaurant, we would have been just fine. Here's just a snapshot of all the desserts that we had to try every time we would go to the buffet. That's what's so great about all-inclusive. Just try as much as you want. One of my favorite things was the lunch buffet, which was located right beside the pool. Look at that view, you guys. I wish I would have recorded more. It was amazing. Also, we never had to wait to eat as there were two buffets right beside each end of the pool. They had great selections. You get that gorgeous view, and you could just hop right back into the pool when you were done eating. Now, here are some negatives about this resort. One, they require all men to wear pants. We did not know this, so every time we would go to a restaurant, they would have a pair of pants for my husband to put over his shorts. Personally, I thought his shorts looked way better than the baggy pants, but hey, you know, we were just sitting down, so it wasn't a big deal, but at least they had them and we weren't turned away. The next thing is I did not like that they limit you on reservations. So at first they were not even going to give us a restaurant reservation. They only said per 5-6 night stay you get like 2, which happened at the Grand Serenas, the resort we switched over from. However, my husband told them it was my birthday, which it was. He slipped the front desk lady a $10 bill, and she was able to get us 2 restaurants from our 2-night stays that we had here. So just keep that in mind, you know. Tip well here in Mexico. It can be very rewarding. Now, the front desk lady was able to get us a reservation at the Japanese, which is always our favorite at Mexico resorts. And then we also tried the steakhouse, which was so good. Probably the best steak I've had in Mexico.
What?
You're funny.
I'm not joking.
You put Snapchat filter on that.
It's not Snapchat.
Wait, is that talent?
Funny.
Is he positive?
I'm not stupid.
That's a lie.
It's the worst lie. I'm not.
So those 2 restaurants are all I have to review on. They were amazing. Just know you have to wear pants and to book your restaurants as soon as you arrive at any Mexico resort, being the Barcelo, anywhere else you go, because they will book up so fast. So now let's talk about prices. Now, we did pay to switch to this resort, so granted our stay is less, being only 2 nights. We paid about $1,000 for all of us. However, I remember when searching before we left on trips, the Barcelo was almost the exact same price as Grand Serena's, and this is what we paid to stay at Grand Serena's. So just showing you kind of what the prices are and how to book on Expedia. So you click packages. I fly out of DFW. I typed in the tropical, which is where we stayed at the Barcelo. Typically, it's always best to book out a couple of months. Prices fluctuate, so sometimes summer is a little bit more expensive than the off season. So let me just say I'm planning a vacation in September. Let's go 10th through the 15th, 5 nights, 6 days, pretty standard. Did that for 5 people, which includes my 3 children, which are 8, 12, and 15, and me and my husband. So right now it's actually saying the tropical where we stayed at is sold out. However, the Palace is only $745. Sorry, you couldn't see that, $745, which is crazy because it's really the nicer resort out of all the 4 resorts that are in that Barcelo, area. So, I mean, that's a little under $4,000, and that's about, standard for what we typically like to pay for a vacation for 5 people. All flights included, all inclusive. So that's basically a wrap for this Mexico travel vlog. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned. In a couple months, we will be going back to Mexico to the beautiful Moon Palace. I'm so excited to try out this hotel. I've heard wonderful things, so stay tuned to my channel and be watching for that.